Okay. This year, just the refurbished smartphone market alone is worth 20 billion USD, and it's projected to hit 30 billion USD in 2020, and the growth rate is double digit, much faster than the new smartphone, because a lot of growth areas will come from the developing countries, and also like a lot of people are carrying second phones, and also the technology is changing fast, and people keep replacing, taking on new technology even faster. And so the emerging markets have a lot of need for all these phones as well. Yep.
How many countries are you serving right now with refurbished phones?
Right now, we are serving in about 20 country markets, but right now it's mainly the European countries, and also like Australia and US. Yeah, regarding the buying back model, so right now we're in fact building a C2B model, which is consumer to business. So we are trying to buy phones back from the end consumer and have them consolidated into Hong Kong, where we ship to China for the final refurbishment, and then we re-export to all those country markets.
So you must have a big facility then to repair all these phones.
Yeah, in our Hong Kong office, it's like a fulfillment center, and also we have all our core people here, like the marketing, logistic person. Yeah. As for the factories, we are in the Shenzhen bonded area. I don't know how much you guys know about Shenzhen, but it's like the consumer electronics capital of China. Yeah, we are indeed interested in all those B2B and all this, but because we started from scratch, so we rather focus just on B2C. But we would go for the B2B and C2B model at the same time. But we are like a hybrid e-commerce ecosystem. So because we are a running business, so our B2C part will keep running as it is. And we believe that for our B2C platform, there's no need for us to go decentralized. That means there's no need to put on blockchain. The reason why is because we want to keep the branding and the customer experience consistent. And that's not because we are in control of the supply. There's no need to go decentralized. But however, that said, our C2B, B2B platform, there's a lot of benefits that blockchain will bring, like what I mentioned just now. And this part will be carried out using the Mobile Freak platform. Yeah. We are going to integrate the blockchain technology into our ecosystem so that we have the not only our B2C, we'll have the C2B, B2B model as well, where we believe that blockchain will solve a lot of industry pain points. For example, there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of wrong product being delivered to the wrong people and all this, or the different product versions. As you know, with smartphones, there's a lot of different bandwidth. So for example, one good example in resolving this is having the IMEI, the IMEI track, because each phone has their unique identifier. Right. And with this, we will know that first, whether it's the right product for the right market, okay, and we can also track whether these phones are stolen phones or not, or whether they are locked or not. And we are also able to ensure that the suppliers, the seller of these items, do have the items ready, for sale. Because a lot of people might claim that, hey, I have this batch, but it's just an empty claim. Yeah. So on the other hand, we can track. We can use the blockchain to track the product movement, like the logistics and all this. And we can also have the blockchain to track how credible these sellers are. Yeah. And on top of all this, as we know, the blockchain in this industry, the turnover is very important. So with the blockchain, we can allow payments to be processed faster and cheaper because cross-border transaction, especially internationally with the US, is a headache because it typically takes like 3 days and costs you more than 50 to 60 USD.
Ooh. When you finally learned about blockchain technology and Bitcoin, was that like an eye-opener to you? It's like, wow, this is perfect for business.
Yeah, certainly. Like what I said, I think is blockchain would change e-commerce. That's without doubt. It's just that I think as everybody in the crypto world knows that the processing speed, the congestion within the network is still a problem. But I think we should start planning now because in 1 or 2 years' time, I believe that all this will be resolved. So as you know, electronic waste is a big problem in many countries. And the reason why our factories in the bonded area, because even the Chinese government doesn't want electronic waste or what you call it, the dumping of such waste into their country. So everywhere, it's very hard to expose all this electronic waste. And most people just ask your friends around. I believe that each one of you would have like 1 or 2 extra phones, sitting around at your home doing nothing, and they become a threat to the world,
the environment.
So we have all these problems like the global warming and all this. But having your phone refurbished and passed it to the next person who need it would be a much better choice. Yeah.
Then, and are you licensed then?
Yes, we are licensed by the Chinese government. What does that mean? It means that we can officially import brands like Apple and Samsung and refurbish them in our factories and then re-export out. Because like what I said, is in a bonded zone, so we have to re-export the phones out of the bonded area. And as you know, e-commerce is typically an industry that winners take all. So we have to grow fast before there are more and more direct competition. But as of now, we don't see any clear market leader. For example, the closest that we could find for such an ecosystem, it might be people like Amazon Renewed. Amazon has a specialized section for selling refurbished products, for example. Yes, we want to build our whole ecosystem because Amazon only sells, but we want to buy from the end consumer, consolidate them, and also like refurbish them ourselves and sell to the end consumer. But on the other hand, like what I said, we have the marketplace where we would allow accredited suppliers to sell on that marketplace and then to other retailers or resellers or even end consumers.
So that's
basically people would ask, why would I buy GES tokens and all this? Okay, so for our tokens, there are a few things. Okay, firstly, we do allow them to use our tokens within our ecosystem. They can use it to buy products, and then every month we'll give them a rebate if they use our tokens instead of fiat money. Yeah. So that encourage them to use our tokens. But we understand that that alone is not enough because we are an ecosystem. So our tokens can be used by suppliers if they want to list on our websites, for example, to sell their products. So we can charge them to pay in GES tokens for premium listings, to accredit whether they are trustable suppliers. We can even do the refurbishment and then be paid in tokens and others. We can also do an inspection of goods and grade them accordingly, because this is also very important for big sellers or collectors of phones. Yeah. We actually offered to use 20% of our quarterly profits to do quarterly buyback, on our own tokens, and then we will burn 50% of them. The reason why is when we burn the tokens, okay, it would reduce the supply, and as long as we keep going strong, the demand will increase, and that would mean that the token price would appreciate, and that's how we return the extra value to our backers.
Did you get that, folks? What they're planning to do is, Yuen says he's going to take 20% of the profits quarterly, and I think there's certain months, like certain months, that they're going to buy back tokens off the exchanges and burn half of those up. So of course, the less tokens out there, your token should increase in value.
We have a token value protection measure. That means if the market price of our token falls below the listed price in terms of USDT, we would buy back regardless of our profitability. Obviously, it has to be done in stages, But I think this speaks a lot on our confidence on the this project potential of getting big success.
Well, sure it does. Plus, you're protecting your investors who buy those tokens. So you're almost guaranteeing that they'll be at a certain price. So they're not going to drop down and lose money totally for the investors. That's great.
That's awesome.
But tell me, is Galaxy eSolutions crazy?
Well, you're looking out for everybody. You're not just in this for yourself. You're saying, hey, if people are going to give us money to increase our operations, what can we do to protect them? And so, no, I think you've thought it through. I think.
So as you can see, building an ecosystem is a very big goal. So we need all the support from the community to believe in us, because I think that given the blockchain breakthrough, we believe that this thing would really change the world, and there's a good chance because there's no clear market leader within this refurbished economy. I think there's a chance for us to become a market leader. So we need all the support.
That Mr. Wong has really done a lot of thinking on this, and you could tell he's really got this nailed.
Well, and that's what's so exciting is they're in business already. And that's a huge thing for you and I, Rod, when we start looking at these projects.